Roger and James here from the DisKingdom Podcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the remains of Disney Infinity in terms of these Toybox figures that recently got released on the Disney Store. They're only available to get them on store or online. They released, I think, about a few different... three Star Wars ones. You got Kylo Ren, Rey, and a Stormtrooper. From Pixar, you got Woody, Jesse, and also Buzz Lightyear. And for Marvel, you got Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, and supposed to be Spider-Man, but he ended up not being anywhere online or any store, and reports that he's been held back for some bizarre reason. We don't know. There are more figures coming. There's at least another dozen figures coming. And they are all designed very, very similarly on the Disney Infinity figures. Though they have made some tweaks, like Iron Man that was given an upgrade to his new costume. Thor looks a little bit different, and obviously the Stormtrooper was never even a figure. But what did you think of them?
Well, my initial reaction was they looked pretty hideous, especially Iron Man. And it's weird that they say it's the new Iron Man costume, but that's actually his Ultimate's costume from like the early 2000s, and it's not one of the better designs. Now, having said that, I did get to see some at a store in person, and they do look better in person. In particular, Kylo Ren actually looked pretty good. And the Toy Story figures, of course, being based on animated character style. They looked fine. They looked fine. I'm still not a fan of Woody's face. There's something weird about his expression. But the Marvel characters, Iron Man, Thor, they look horrific. They look like they've I don't know. They've been juicing or something, and they like very top heavy, very skinny bottoms. The Stormtroopers got the same thing going on. Honestly, I mean, I'm not an action figure guy, so I'm not going to pick these up regardless. But it's a mixed bag. Some of them actually look pretty good. Star Wars fans, I think, might want to take a look at Kylo Ren and Rey. They're not awful. And Toy Story fans should definitely look at the Toy Story figures. Those are actually pretty good. So.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like it's really odd because it was one of those things of because I go onto the Disney Store every single day. Because I'm checking for new products and stuff for the site. So I do it regularly. So I saw this little block with Rey and the Stormtrooper, and it said, like, this new Toybox toys coming. All right, they look fine. They look kind of familiar. 3 days, but 3 days, 4 days go by, right? And then suddenly I see all this stuff on Twitter going on the Disney, and it was like that kind of like literally light bulb went. I'd seen it days before, and they look similar. It was like they looked so familiar, but I completely just glossed over them because it didn't connect me that they were actually Disney Infinity design. I'd seen them. It was like, all right, new figures. Cool. Coming in store on the 3rd. I thought, I'll just check back on the 1st, see what they were. But I think this is a good idea because they kind of they are aimed to be toys. They are not. They're not deluxe figures. We're not talking Marvel Legends, Star Wars Elites. It's Black Series. We're talking these are like toy figures. And the Hulk looks like a proper action figure that you just smash around. The designs of the figures, was always the fact that they are using the Disney Infinity images for the promotion. It very much feels like we've got all this content here. We could make some more money with this. Let's use this. Let's lease out some of the images to Disney Magical Dice, and we're going to make some figures from them. And it feels very, very cheap. But at the same time, this is at the end of the day, they own the artwork, they own the stars, they own it. If they want to do this, and now there's no toys, there's no game. It would have been really confusing had they done this before. Maybe this was like another line that they were going to do this with the chips inside, and they went, "Oh well, let's just take the chips out and carry on." They could have. It wouldn't surprise me if they re-released every single figure, because these are good toys. These are good solid toys. The designs are there. They are solid designs. They work well. They've got a unique style. They kind of fit into this. I mean, I think Rey looks better than like the Forces of Destiny's figures. I think this just looks a better figure. But those are meant as dolls anyway. Exactly. The Forces of Destiny. So I mean, they're a different market, but also it's a very, very kiddified compared to the Black Series. So there's a definite kind of difference.
Yeah, and again, it's worth pointing out that these ones have points of articulation. We're not talking super articulated. It's like you can move their arms and you can move their legs kind of stuff, maybe their hands. But yeah, this is definitely an asset repurposing. We see this all the time in comics. Not the same way, but a project will get greenlit, a comic book will get developed, and then for whatever reason, the marketing department's like, yeah, this isn't actually going to make the money that we thought it was, so we'll cancel it. But let's just throw what we've got out there because we already spent the money on the project, so we might as well recoup some of it. This is probably not the beginning of like a full brand new line. It's like you were saying, it's probably literally just them going, yeah, we got these leftover promo art pieces, might as well just kind of make some quick pieces out of them. And, I think that they'll make a little bit of money back. It'll help them to offset losses, etc. But anybody who's looking at this and going, "Oh, this is the resurgence of Infinity," or they're testing the waters, no, just take that out of your head right now. This is literally just them going, "We've got assets, let's use them." And while we develop something new, which is not Disney Infinity.
No, I mean this whole kind of sort of thing as well. As people go, no, the corpse and it's not right on the people that have created it, and it's not fair on. Like, well, actually, if I was an artist, personally, I'd be like, this is cool. I mean, I don't know whether or not they get paid more for it, but it's like my designs have now been made into something else. I would almost be like, no, I like the fact that they just my work is carrying on. Somewhere else. That would be how I would look at it. Personally, I see it all the time with pins, with T-shirts, with toys, with merchandise of where literally there was a set of Vinylmation which literally was just set from an entirely other Frozen figure designs were just reused on the figures and they were identical. This is nothing new that Disney will, and it's also recycling. How many times have we had figures? There was one I saw on Twitter the other day. There was this Robin Hood set and literally one of the Friar Tuck figure looked identical to the guard from the Return of the Jedi, right? Where they literally the entire body is just a different color, but the head's different. But you can see it's the same figure. Look at He-Man. I mean, I remember the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe figures when I was a kid. It was the same character, just with a different head on. I was never a Transformers fan, but I know plenty of people who are, and one of the conversations that comes up all the time is this character is just a remold of that character. Yeah. And it comes up all the time, and this is exactly what that is. This is that. So, I suspect that the creators, the people who did the actual artwork in the first place, aren't getting any extra money, but hopefully they get to stick it on their resume. Yeah. So on top of I designed the Kylo Ren figure, I also designed the Kylo Ren Toybox action figure. Yeah. So personally as well, I think this is good. I think between this and Disney Magical Dice, where the figures of the designs are very, very, some
of them are literally the same.
Yeah, they are, the exact same. And it's that thing of, they own that content. When they get these artists, they may be working for Disney, so therefore all the content that they create belongs to Disney. They can do with what they want, or they're freelance. At which point that content is owned by Disney, not the. It's, this is why they buy so much stuff is recycled in companies. I mean, you only have to watch the movies. I mean, there's scenes like Snow White, and I think it's Cinderella, or Sleeping Beauty, and they're doing this dance, and it's identical.
And Beauty and the Beast. It's in Beauty and the Beast as well. Robin Hood also has a sequence from an earlier movie as well. Yeah, this is constant, and now it's more of homage. They'll do the dance as like it's a throwback, but no, what you're talking about, they literally were just like, no, put the Beast on top of Prince Charming and have them do the dance because we don't have the time to animate this properly.
No, it already worked. This is just standard Disney protocol. Is use your designs and this content in as many different forms to make as much money as possible. Funko are doing it very, very well with their content as well. It's just standard protocol.
I mean, Funko is literally just like the Vinylmations. It's literally just take your base template, make it look kind of like what you're aiming for it to look at, maybe add a little accessory to characterize it. But it, my squirrel girl back here is the exact same as like 50 other figures, just slightly personalized.
But not even as that. But then you take Kylo Ren and you then make a T-shirt, you make a pin, you make a mug, you make a big, you reutilize it because it costs money, and it's personally I just use this is just recycling. This is just it just made sense. I really didn't I liked them. I thought they were cool. I mean, there's a lot of interest in them, but I very quickly it was just fine, that's good. I think because maybe I'm so used to seeing it. It didn't really,
it's just a Disney style.
Yeah.
But it's also worth remembering that we have more of a bird's eye view on this. Yeah. We're more in tune with a lot of the Disney products because it's what we do. Yeah. It's what you do for the website every single day. So people just going into the Disney store, a lot of the customers are just going, new action figures, and they're not going to know anything about Disney Infinity. They're not going to recognize this art style. Maybe something will like tingle in the back. Oh, this looks kind of familiar. Did I see something like this at Best Buy? Nah, whatever. And then just go on with their day.
The thing is,
now they're looking at the princess.
I would, if I was, it's like, now I would be like with my nephew of I'll get him a Hulk figure or Woody or Buzz because it's just you can play with them, and it's just what they are. But anyway, we'd love to know your thoughts on these figures. Love to know what you guys think. As per usual, you can check us out over at DisKingdom.com, and you can follow and like us and subscribe on all the different platforms. James, where can they find you?
You find me heroiclegacy.com.
And on that, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you guys soon. Later.